If you've been writing offers to purchase a home and you've been losing, this is the video for you. So we're going to be covering our 4-step process on how to write the winning offer. And we're going to go over some tips and tricks that have helped our clients get their offers accepted. All right, so you're here because you're sick of writing offers on houses and losing. So here's our 4 quick steps and our strategy to getting offers accepted, writing winning offers. The first step, do all the loan work up front. Get a fully underwritten pre-approval. That makes your offer almost as good as a cash offer. Very close, very competitive, and it lets you move forward with absolute confidence. Second, work with an amazing lender. You might just be looking at one. And real estate agent team. You want your lender and real estate agent to be on the same page. Third, understand the rules to the game. You can't win if you don't know how to play. And last, actually write the winning offer. Submit the winning offer and get that offer accepted. Okay, step 1, let's get that fully underwritten pre-approval. So we're going to actually talk about 3 different types of loan qualification. The first one, the lowest one, the least meaningful one in submitting an offer is a pre-qualification. Basically, just an estimate of what you qualify for. So you'll have a conversation with a loan officer and you'll basically tell them high level what your credit is, your income, what assets you have, and how much you plan to put down. They can give you a ballpark of what you're approved for. Definitely do not recommend writing offers with just pre-qualification. Pre-approval, that's the next step up. This is what most people use when submitting an offer. So you would have completed a full loan application, what's also known as a 1003. You would also have submitted your pay stubs, bank statements, W-2s, potentially tax returns, depending on your employment. And those documents are reviewed by a loan officer. Last but not least, you would do a credit check. Most good companies offer what's called a soft pull, so there's no hard inquiry. And with the soft pull, they'll be able to check your monthly expenses, do the full review on debt to income ratio, and give you a pre-approval. Now, what we recommend and what we've seen the highest success with is the fully underwritten pre-approval. So what that is it is very similar to a pre-approval. You're going to go through these same 3 steps. Complete the loan application, the 1003, submit your documents and make sure they're reviewed, go through a full hard inquiry credit check, and that entire loan package actually gets reviewed by an underwriter. So you move your loan into what's called conditional loan approval. Basically, once you finish your appraisal, if one is necessary, you complete your inspections, escrow items get completed, you would have a full clear to close. Why we love the fully underwritten pre-approval is it is just as competitive as a cash offer. The only difference is you may require an appraisal. But why this fully underwritten pre-approval is so important is because it gives the seller confidence that you've gotten your loan to conditional approval already. Now that you understand the importance of the fully underwritten pre-approval, I'm going to be discussing why it's so important to have a lender and real estate team that work well together. You may have heard the saying, teamwork makes the dream work. I fully believe that, and I'm going to be talking about why it's important to work with a great lender and real estate team. You might be thinking, oh, I have the best lender and I have a great real estate agent. But if those 2 people don't work well together, you're going to be in big trouble. So the first thing to keep in mind is that relationships matter. What I mean by that is an agent and a lender's reputation in the marketplace could and does often help people get their offers accepted. If a listing agent knows and has had good experiences with another agent representing the buyer and the lender has shown that listing agent that they've closed on time and is easy to work with, that will 100% help your offer get accepted. The other piece is you want a team that understands what's going on in the market. This will allow your agent to write competitive offers, but still create win-win situations for you and the seller. This one might actually be the most important piece: effective and timely communication. In today's world of technology, the real estate process has gotten significantly faster, right? Response times, emails, text messages. Overall, you want a real estate agent and a lender who are always on top of their communication and promptly answering all parties, setting expectations correctly, and communicating effectively. On top of having great communication, it is vitally important to have a real estate agent and lender who know how to negotiate on your behalf. You want them to be looking out for your best interests. On the next slide, we'll be going over the rules to the game, and that will help you understand how to write a winning offer. All right, rules to the game. Like any game, to win it, you have to know the rules. So the first thing to know about writing an offer is there is an earnest money deposit, and that is a deposit you put down when escrow is opened to show you're serious about purchasing. This is commonly known as a good faith deposit. In most states, your earnest money deposit is protected and you can get it back until you release all contingencies. So this goes back to having a good agent who knows how to negotiate on your behalf. They can write a very strong offer using that earnest money deposit as a bargaining chip, and that will be protected until you release all contingencies. So you might be wondering, what are the contingencies? The first contingency is the inspection contingency. So when you write that offer, you submit that offer, you're going to agree on a time frame to complete any inspections and do your due diligence on the property. Some markets, sellers will provide inspection reports. In many markets, the buyers come with their own inspectors and pay for their own inspection reports. The next contingency is your loan contingency. Once again, you're going to have a specific time frame to complete and ensure that your loan is secure. Ideally, you're doing that fully underwritten pre-approval, so you know before you even submit the offer that your loan is ready to go, barring any, unforeseen circumstances such as potentially losing your job or some sort of black swan event. Ideally, you go through with the fully underwritten pre-approval, so you know right when you submit that offer, your loan and your financing is fully secured. And the last contingency that you need to be aware of is the appraisal contingency. Now, most home purchases, you will have to get an appraisal complete, depending on some other factors. Maybe you're putting 40% down, you are below a certain loan to value or debt to income threshold. You could potentially waive your appraisal, but for the most part, you will also have to negotiate a certain time frame to complete your home appraisal and discuss what happens in the event that the appraisal is short of the contract price. So let's use a quick example. If a home appraises for $400,000 and the home was purchased for $410,000, there's a $10,000 difference called an appraisal gap. That $10,000 difference can be resolved in a few ways. The first is the seller can lower the price to match the appraised value. Second is the buyer can come up with $10,000 more out of pocket to cover the $10,000 difference. The last is they can split it. The buyer can come in with $5,000 more and the seller can lower the price by $5,000. So these are the high level rules, but these are the most important ones to make sure that your earnest money deposit is protected. So now that you understand the rules of the game, you're going to want to know, how can I write the winning offer? I'm going to be covering that next. So let's write the winning offer. First thing we need to figure out is, what do the sellers really want? And how are you going to do that? This is where having a great real estate agent matters. It is their job to find out what's most important to the sellers. And going back to those things that we're looking for, highly effective communication and making sure that they can listen to the listing agent and get to the bottom of what matters most to the sellers. A very good example is it's not always just the highest price. So in a recent transaction that I was in, it was multiple offers, and my buyers were definitely not the highest price. They were actually $20,000 below the highest price. Now you might be wondering, why did the sellers agree to take an offer that was $20,000 lower? So most of the time, sellers really want to know that the buyers are serious and will perform in the agreed upon timeline. And so in that recent example, our buyers were fully underwritten, pre-approved, and we wrote with short inspection, no loan contingency, and a very short appraisal contingency. Additionally, the sellers did want to close in a fairly short time frame, and we were able to perform in that time frame. So here are just some high-level tips when writing an offer. Obviously this will depend on your specific scenario, and get with your real estate agent about these potential items. The first tip is it's okay to provide a large earnest money deposit, because that money is refundable. As long as you have your contingencies, you have the right to get your earnest money deposit back. Most of the time, sellers want shorter contingency periods and a faster close. There are some scenarios where sellers actually will request for a longer escrow, or they'll ask for a rent back period. So what that means with the rent back is you can have a 30-day escrow and you close, you become the owner of the home, but the sellers are renting the home from you for 30 days. Maybe they need that time to move, pack up, clean out the house. But at the end of the day, it's super important that your real estate agent listens and thinks win-win for all parties. This formula has brought us and our clients the most success. So what are the next steps? Next steps are getting your offer accepted by emailing us at knowyourmortgages@gmail.com. From there, we're going to understand your specific scenario, what's most important to you, and then we'll connect you with one of our winning agents. After we connect you with one of our winning agents, let's make sure that you qualify for that fully underwritten pre-approval so you can go ahead and write an offer with full confidence. After that step, we will go ahead and submit that winning offer for you. Once you get your offer accepted, you open escrow, everything goes smooth, and you move into your new home. If you thought this video was valuable at all, please share.